In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. We are now doing our second little version of the Apocalypse. So the Apocalypse is the last book in the Old Testament. On the New Testament, now the last book in the Bible, written by St. John the Evangelist 2,000 years ago, more or less, and therefore it is a summation of everything. And the summation of everything is what? The new heaven, the new earth, the Mass. The Mass is the summation of everything. So this little story of the Apocalypse is also the story of what happens every day when we go to Mass in the morning in every Catholic church. So we have here now, and this mountain, it told us, we were just stating before, symbolizes us today. We are just too cozy. Everything's fine. We have some physical problem, we go to the doctors. We have a mental problem, we go to the psychologist. We have a commercial problem, we go to the banks. Everything's fine. Okay, but bang, a little germ comes, we're all running around with masks, terrified. And if we studied the Apocalypse, we would know that all these disasters would happen out of the blue. And this, as you say, what happened was this place, Sardis, they had the Acropolis up here. They said, nobody can come in here. We're safe as houses. 2 times, Croesus comes up here, up through a cleft, opens the gates, they fall. Then another conqueror comes along and they fall. So in other words, the message is, I will come like a thief in the night when you're least expecting it. So as they say, if you're sailing on the blue seas, that's the time to worry, because suddenly a disaster will strike. Okay, so here we have, this symbolizes, be ready for the coming of the Lord. So here we have this autonomous. So we have this, basically what has happened, all these pictures here of Sardis are giving to portray abundance, luxury, all the vices, the poppies, you could say this is opium poppies, as Marx, Marx said, the religion is the opium of the people. And then before long we find that the opium of the people is drugs. So here we have, you see, these are Rhode Island Reds, the chickens here. It's a very cozy, quiet life here, living here. You see these chickens here, they're as happy as hell. And you have these fig trees, and we can remind ourselves of the fig tree that, you see, here we are, Sardis has been present here for ages. It was the chief town of Lydia and the Anatolia. So here we have, this is the temple of Artemis, Cybele, Diana. They worship the sun. And like us today, we attribute our success, we attribute our wealth, we attribute our everything we have to our own endeavors and worshipping the gods and idols of mammon. But Jesus said you can't have mammon and God at the same time. So this is the temple of the sun. Out the back here we have this, where the Acropolis used to be. And we have here the old temple. You can imagine this was a fantastic temple to Diana, and we know what happened to the Diana of the Ephesians, and we know what happened to the Cybele, and we know that in this region there was also the Assumption of Our Lady. So she more or less took over from the Anatolian goddess Cybele. So these are some of the columns but you could imagine there was something like 75. This we only have 1 or 2. You can imagine what the magnificent temple was, and they were attributing all their excess to Diana, Sybilis, Artemis. But we all know that eventually it's due to God. So we have here these beautiful. Now all we have is this city, which was chock-a-block full of gold, silver, dyed goods, rich as Croesus. Everything was hunky-dory, and now what do we got? Stones. So that is a symbol of us. These are our bones. We will be stinking in the tomb, or just be the bones, and we're just hoping that God will have mercy on us and take pity on us, because while we're reveling, if you just say just south of this area here, we go to Bodrum and the south of Turkey. What are they doing? Just frolicking in the sun and just wasting their time, while the mysteries of heaven are there, open to them every day. They can go to Mass. You see, this symbolizes the situation. Our lives are they were just left to this, just ruins. We're gradually dying and being killed by our own rubbish. Now, as I just say, this fig tree symbolizes, in Matthew's Gospel, it says, the parable goes of the the head of the show goes along and says to the gardener, look, this fig tree has no fruit. Cut it down. And the gardener says, well, have mercy. I will put fertilizer, a bit of water, and the fig tree will produce something. So they say, okay, do it for another 3 years. Well, that's it. It's like today we hear God says to you, if you don't stop all this waste of time, spending all your time looking at your cell phone and chasing women or chasing men and chasing money, chasing the trinkets and baubles of this world, and don't concentrate in heaven, one day we will all be bangs dead. Last night I was walking across the road, there was a big bang behind me. In 1 second, two corpses were right next to me. And this happens every day. So we watch out. So if we don't produce fruit, we will be cut down. We've got to spend our lives producing fruit for the whole Jesus. As he said, some will be 30, some will be 60, some will be 100. So let's produce 100%, and then we will get our full reward in heaven where we'll have 100%. So the fig tree symbolizes us. Now we can see the plenty. You see the Turks, these, you know, the Arabs, they went and took over Spain, and this, for example, these oranges, that's where the oranges came from. I think rice came from, and then coffee came from. A lot of things came from the West. But this symbolizes the abundance and wealth that we have today. The Roman, you see, this is 200, 2,500, 2,000 years ago. There were these huge Roman roads, which is used today, and that symbolizes the strength of the Roman Empire. Now, we'll just remind ourselves what our whole little program is all about. What is this place? This is called Mount Michael, Michael's Mount. And the story goes that the bishop of this place called Avranches, he had a dream one night. And there was an angel. The angel told him to build a church on this island. And the bishop, being a practical kind of man, said, what is the point of building a church on this place? It's absolutely ridiculous. But the story goes that the third time, because the bishop wouldn't listen to the angel angel took a hammer and hammered a hole in his head and said, if you don't do it, you're in trouble. And apparently when the bishop died, we can go to the museum in Avranches and we can see the bishop's cranium, his scalp. And we can see here a hole, and that was supposed to be the hole that was made by the angel to make him to do this. But whatever it is, it's a pretty miraculous place if you think about it. And there are literally millions of people go there every year. There are millions. So now, the reason why we've chosen this particular church, it symbolizes, as it were, we are now on the level. We're on the plane. We're on the plane, and we are on the plane, but our minds, we're always thinking of perfection. And we all know that perfection is the mouse, and that's the way we go to heaven. So this place symbolizes, because in a few moments, what's going to happen is, we're going to go into the church, which is on top of this place, the church of the Michael's Mount. You see Michael's at the top there. You see, look, here's Michael's at the top here. It symbolizes that the whole of creation is going to the Mass. And we'll just remind us of what actually the Mass is. The Mass is when the whole world is in a bad state. Jesus Christ comes down. He dies and rose. So it's like this. This is the world. We're all in a mess. Heaven is our objective, but we look towards heaven. We cannot get to heaven. The only way is that God the Son comes down, shares our life. He dies and rises. So we die and we rise with him every day, and that is we take part in this incredible movement of the whole of the universe to Christ himself, and we join this universe and we get to go up to heaven every day in the Mass. So this symbolizes it, that this is the church of Michael. So in a minute we'll go up to Mass at the top of this pile. You can see, look. So it's pretty good, this place. You see, obviously every day there are thousands, literally thousands. You've got to get up very early in the morning, otherwise you're not going to see much, and it will go up these steps and pile right up to the top. At the top here, we'll go to Mass. The best thing is when we get to Mass, I'll keep my mouth shut. We'll just, as it were, revel, allow ourselves to be imbued by the supernatural grace. So this is it here. So, okay, now, what I'm going to do is, we've already got to the top of this Michael's Mount. And every day, this is what happens. This is a Gothic cathedral, and it sums up, you see, this is going to heaven, the Gothic pile. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to talk here. What we'll do is we'll just say, well, this is the heavenly ritual. Every day we can take part in the heavenly ritual because we're going to do it for all eternity. And this Mass, at the top of the Holy Mass, as we get the feel of what it's like to be part of the heavenly ritual. So I'll fade out, and you will just see what's going on. This is Mass, heavenly ritual. Okay, well, just about this session is coming to an end here, but we've got one more little as you say, a view of the secrets of the Mass revealed, so we can remind ourselves that what we are talking about is basically like we're being married. You have this fall in love with this beautiful woman, and the apocalypse is the veil is where you say, oh, this beautiful, oh my God, I'm going to live with this. But the woman is a symbolize of the church. So Jesus Christ, he said the church was like the bride of Christ. He is the bridegroom. And every day at Mass, Jesus Christ, there is the marriage feast between the church and God. So every day we take part in a marriage feast. The ecstasy of marriage, the ecstasy of heaven, the ecstasy of life in the Catholic Church. So far from being, most of us go to Mass, and we are probably bored, and we're going to say there's just an old fogey up there muttering some funny words, and but actually we are taking part in the greatest drama of the universe. In fact, it is the drama, the summation. If we just may every day get out the Apocalypse, have a look at it, and we'll see just how much it is. So we've got just one little session again to talk about the secrets of the Mass, but in the meantime, have a good time. Go to the movies or whatever you want to do. God bless. Okay.